Marshal Daniels.
Doctor.
Marshal Orr. Thank you, Deputy Warden. That'll be all.
Yes, sir. Pleasure, gentlemen.
He had a lot to say about you.
McPherson's a good man. He believes in the work we do here.
And what would that be exactly?
A moral fusion between law and order and clinical care.
Pardon me, Doc. A what between what and what?
Those paintings are quite accurate. Used to be the kind of patients we deal with here were shackled and left in their own filth. They were beaten, as if whipping them bloody would drive the psychosis out. We drove screws into their brains. We submerged them in icy water until they lost consciousness or even drowned.
And now?
We treat them, try to heal, try to cure. And if that fails, at least we provide them with a measure of comfort in their lives, calm.
These are all violent offenders, right? I mean, they've hurt people, murdered them in some cases.
In almost all cases, yes.
And personally, Doctor, I'd have to say screw their sense of calm.
It's my job to treat my patients, not their victims. I'm not here to judge.
So this female prisoner,
Patient.
excuse me, patient, one Rachel Solando, escaped sometime in the last 24 hours.
Last night, between 10 and midnight.
She considered dangerous?
You could say that. She killed all 3 of her children. She drowned them in the lake behind her house. She took them out one by one, held their heads under till they died. Then she brought them back inside and arranged them round the kitchen table. She ate a meal there before a neighbor dropped by.
And what about the husband?
He died on the beaches at Normandy. She's a war widow. She starved herself when she first came here. She insisted the children weren't dead.
Sorry, Doctor. You don't happen to have an aspirin, do you?
Prone to headaches, Marshal.
Sometimes, but today I'm a little more prone to seasickness.
Ah, dehydration.
You all right, boss?
Yeah.
In that case, you're quite right. The simpler, the better.
Oh, thanks so much.
Rachel still believes the children are alive. She also believes this place is her home in the Berkshires.
Hey, you're kidding me.
She's never once in 2 years acknowledged that she's in an institution she believes we're all deliverymen, milkmen, postal workers. To sustain the delusion that her children never died, she's created an elaborate fictional structure, and she gives us all parts to play in that fiction.
So have you searched the grounds yet?
The warden and his men scoured the island. Not a trace. And what's more disturbing is we don't know how she got out of her room. It was locked from the outside, and the only window's barred. It's as if she evaporated straight through the walls.
Brought her right back here after group therapy. Locked her in. Came back for a midnight round. She was gone.
Seriously, Doctor, how is it possible that the truth never gets through to her? I mean, she's in a mental institution, right? Seems like something you'd notice from time to time.
How many pairs of shoes are the patients given?
2 pairs. Sanity's not a choice. Marshal, you can't just choose to get over it.
So, she left here barefoot? Come on, Doc, she couldn't get 10 yards in that terrain.
Marshal? This is definitely Rachel's handwriting. I've no idea what the law for is, though.
It's not a psychiatric term.
I'm afraid not.
Who is 67? Fuck if I know.
I have to say, that's quite close to my clinical conclusion.
Think it's just random scribblings?
Oh, no, not at all. Rachel's smart. Brilliant, in fact. This paper could be important.
Excuse me, Doctor, but we're gonna have to hold on to this.
Of course.
And you say she had to come through here?
After lights out, the order is play cards in here. Last night, there were 7 men sitting at the base of those stairs playing stud poker. Yet somehow Rachel managed to slip past them.
Why?
How? She turns invisible? Doctor, we're gonna need access to the personnel files of all the medical staff, the nurses, the guards, the orderlies, anyone who was working there.
We'll take your request under consideration.
This is not a request, Doctor. This is a federal facility and a dangerous prisoner. Patient has escaped now. You will comply.
All I can say is I'll see what I can do.
Doctor, we're gonna need to speak with the staff. Do you understand?
I'll assemble them in the common room after dinner. If you have any further questions, feel free to join the deputy warden in the search.
It's 11 miles to the nearest land and the water's freezing. Current was strong last night. Tide pushing in. She'd have drowned or been crushed on the rocks and her body would have washed back up on shore.
What about those caves down there? Have you checked them?
No way she could get there. The base of those cliffs are covered in the poison ivy, live oak, sumac, 1,000 plants with thorns as big as my dick. You said yourself, Marshal, she's got no shoes. All right, let's check the other side.
What's that tower?
It's an old lighthouse. The guards already searched inside it.
What's in there? More patients?
Sewage treatment facility. It's getting dark soon. I'm calling this off for the night. Let's go, boys!
You were on watch on the landing, huh?
Yeah, couldn't nobody get in or out of their room on that corridor without me seeing.
Okay, Rachel Solando. Who else does she have to pass to get down here?
Me. Glenn me. Sir, I didn't see nothing.
And you were at your post all night?
Yeah, but I didn't see a thing.
Glenn. Glenn. Tell me the truth.
I maybe went to the bathroom.
What? You breached protocol, Christ.
I wasn't gone one in a minute.
All right, let's back up here. Let's all just back up. Miss Solando was put in her room for lights out. Does anyone here know what she did before that? Anyone?